What's up guys, Jake here, and today we're going to be checking out 30 more iOS 13 jailbreak tweaks. Okay guys, so the first tweak is called Arial 2. So as you can see, up here in the top left and middle and on the right in the status bar, you can see that my Wi-Fi logo is a blue and my time is a orange, and then also in the right I can customize my battery icon color and the outline color as well. So if we hop into settings and we scroll down until we get to Arial 2, you will see that it shows all of the different indicators that you can change the colors for. So if we hop into one of them, you can see that it is these different colors that you can choose from. I'm just going to leave them how they are right now, but this is Arial 2. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called Annotate. So as you can see here on the home screen, I do have a little box that I can type in. So if I do remember something quickly when I'm getting to my home screen and I don't want to forget it, I can just type in like hello. And then to get out of it, you do have to go into Spotlight and then swipe back up. So as you can see here, it does say hello, and so I can move this around if I want, or I can just lock it in place. Or if you don't want to use it at the moment, you can just tap the X and then it will go away. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called BadgeBar. So as you can see, I do have a notification for my messages. So instead of putting that a little annoying badge indicator in the top right of the icon, you can see it color codes it to the icon color. So right now there is a little bar that is under my messages icon to let me know that I do have a notification. So this is BadgeBar. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called Carbonite. So as you can see, if we go into reachability by double tapping on the home button or just swiping down on the bottom if you're on an iPhone 10 or above, this does come up instead of the actual reachability, which just has nothing. So this just basically replaces it. So you can turn off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, you can turn on airplane mode, you can turn off data, and you can turn on and off your flashlights. So it's almost like a second control center. So once again, this is called Carbonite. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called Color Banners 3. So if I do tap on the test button, as you can see, it does color my notification banners, which is pretty cool. And also it does do this on the lock screen as well. So if I test it on the lock screen, you can see that if I tap on my phone, it says Color Banners 3. This is a test notification, but this will do this on the real notifications as well. But as you can see, this is green, and this is corresponding to the phone app. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called Continuity. So as you can see, my wallpaper looks a little funky, but if I do scroll over, it does change, just like this, because what it does is it breaks down your wallpaper into as many app pages as you have, and so then it just makes it into a scrolling wallpaper. So the original photo looks like this. It centers it and then breaks it down into these different parts, which is pretty cool. So if you do have a panorama or some other long photo that you want to include everybody in to be your home screen, you can use Continuity and it will do that. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called Filza. And so Filza is just a file manager that lets you go more in depth in your phone. So as you can see, we can go all the way back to the slash, and now you pretty much have access to every folder, and you can change different settings within this as well. So if we go to the var folder, and then if we go down to the mobile folder, and then we go to media, and so now we're in the media folder. So if you do download anything from Safari, you'll see that it shows up here, and all of your photos and videos are stored here. And so you can also change other file settings and edit other files within this app. So once again, this is called Filza. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called FloatyTab. So if I do head into my clock app, you will see that at the bottom there is no like big bar where you can click on the different tabs, but it puts it in this little like floating dock. I can tap on each of these, and then you can also make it so that it does vibrate, and you can change the amount of vibration that it sends. You can also customize it depending on which apps you're using, so you can turn on different apps and turn off different ones. It doesn't work with all apps, but it does work with some of them. So this is FloatyTab. The next tweak is called Grupi. This is kind of like Axon, but a little bit different if you did watch my last video, which will be down in the description. Okay guys, so as you can see, if I do tap on the little mail icon, it does bring up all of the emails that I do have, and I can also tap on them to reveal all of them, and I can also show less. And so this is Grupi. The next tweak is called iCleaner Pro. So if we do head into it, this just lets you clean out your device, and it will also analyze to see if you do have any malware or if you do need to clear any of your files. So as you can see right now, it is doing a file cleanup. So it did clean up, and so it's going to ask me if I want to respring, so I'm just going to put no for now. And so this lets you disable OTA software updates. So these are over the air software updates from Apple. You can turn on and off message attachments or make it smart. You can turn on and off Safari and applications, and you can also do different cleanings as well. And you can also turn off different individual tweaks. As you can see here, if I wanted to turn off Carbonite, I can do that, or if I want to turn off any of the preference bundles as well. And so this is just an overall good tweak to have, and it is called iCleaner Pro. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called IconTweak. So this just lets you change different options about your app icons and the names of them. So let's say I swipe up on the home app, just like this. This will come up, and it gives you all of these different options for opening it in Filza. You can even rename the app. You can set how many notifications there are. You can clear the cache of the app. You can back up all of the data for it. You can remove all of the user data for it. You can copy the bundle ID. You can copy the URL schemes. You can mute all notifications for it, and you can open the app and press cancel. So let's say I want to rename the app. I can just go to here. And let's say I don't want home, I want it to be house. So I can do that and press apply. And so as you can see now, down here, it does say house instead of home, which is pretty cool. So you can name your apps to anything you want. And so this is iconTweak. Okay, so the next tweak is called iKSettings. So as you can see, my settings app does look a little different. It looks almost more condensed and cleaner. So as you can see, there are spaces in between the sides and the middle. So if you do look at a regular settings app here, if I show you my other settings app, everything does not look as clean as it does on the other iPhone with iKSettings installed. So this is iKSettings. Next week is called Lend My Phone 3. So as you can see, if I am scrolling around here, I do have access to all my apps as well as the control center, and I can close out apps as well. But let's say I want to give someone my phone and just let them use a couple of apps. So if I turn off my phone, and then I type in my password, if I do 00000, this is the guest password. As you can see, the only apps that they do have access to are the camera, weather, Safari, music, and check rain, which I will also remove. But so if I just want to lend my phone to my friend, I can just make it so that they can see the weather, they can use the web browser, they can listen to music, and they can use the camera. So this is Lend My Phone 3. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called the Local IAP Store. So what this does is it lets you get in-app purchases for free. So let's say we wanted to buy some coins in Subway Surfers. And let's say we wanted to get 1.2 million coins. If we just tap on that, then it will say you purchased that amount. I can also do this with the keys, so I'll do 650 keys. Then you just have to press on cancel. And then as you can see, it does say I purchased 650 keys. And now I'm at 655 because I did have 5 before. So this only works on non-multiplayer network games. So like if you tried this on Clash of Clans, this would not work because it goes over different servers. But since this is not, you can use this on Subway Surfers, Temple Run, and some of the other games. So once again, this is called Local IAP Store. So the next tweak is called Maple 2. You may remember Maple 1, and this is a more stable version of that, and it is able to be used on iOS 13. So if I do stick my phone on a wireless charger or any charger, you can see that there is a phone animation. And then if you do tap here, it'll show you the devices that you do have on iCloud that are charging. So I can show you this one more time. If I take this off, and then now if I put this back on, it will bring up the red iPhone 8 Plus. So once again, this is Maple 2. The next tweak is called MeltedCrayons. So I'm in my music app and I do press on a song. You can see that when I go into it, it does change the background from just white and it adds a pop of color to it. You can change how much vibrance you want in the settings, which is pretty cool. And then if I were to tap on the lyrics button, then it puts it back to the regular Apple lyrics page, which already adds color. So I don't really understand why they don't just add that to the normal music app, but this does that instead. It is a little bit glitchy. This is MeltedCrayons. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called ModernAlerts 2. So this just makes it so that when you do get an alert, it puts it into an Apple TV OS notification style. So if I do test an alert, as you can see when it does bring it up, it puts it in this Apple TV OS notification style. So I'll show you another example. If I am in my passcode settings, and let's say I want to change my passcode to 111111. Normally it does pop up like this and it says this passcode can be easily guessed. But this shows up in a different way. This normally shows up like this and it does not look as clean. But when you do install ModernAlerts, this changes it and it puts it like this instead. The next tweak is called Modulus. So as you can see in the preference pane, it shows that you can add extra control center modules that are not usually supported, and you can customize the size of them. So like you can add an activity module, a battery module, a Cydia module, a device module, a shortcuts module, and you can also install other ones as well, but these are the ones that do come with it. And then if you go into your control center settings here and you try to add some of these, you can add activity. So this will just tell you your activity during the day. Some device info, battery module. We can try shortcuts, and this will let you know if there are any tweak updates. So if we do go to our home screen and we swipe up, as you can see here, this does tell me the battery of all my iCloud devices. This one will tell me my move goal if I were to use this and have it set up for moving. And if you were to have shortcuts, they would appear here. Then this is a device information one. So this will tell you your serial number, device model, so you don't have to go into settings every time. And then this will let you know if you do have any tweak updates from Cydia. So once again, this is called Modulus. So the next tweak is called Notepad. So as you can see here, it does say my device is locked, so I'll use my fingerprint, and then it creates this notepad that you can type anything into if you have a quick idea or anything. So right now I have it saying follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, which if you are not following me, please do. It is at JAK3MB. And so this is Notepad. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called PhotoManager. So as you can see, if I am in my Photos app, and there is a album that is called Secret. So if I go into it, there's nothing actually secretive, but if I do have something secretive that I don't want anyone to see, and I want to lock it, I can just 3D touch on this, or haptic touch. And as you can see, it does lock it. So if I do try to go into it, I have to use my thumb. And so now I am in the folder, and so if I go back, it does lock it again. And so let's say I don't want it to be locked anymore, I can just 3D touch on it again, and then it'll ask me for my thumb, and then now it is unlocked. And so this is PhotoManager. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called Pure Focus. So if you do have an essay to write, or some work that you need to get done, and you don't want your phone to be a distraction to you, you can select certain apps that you do want to be on. So right now I have like clock, calculator, and I have music, and I also do have Safari. And so I only want these apps to be there so I don't get like distracted by my messages or by Snapchat. And so you can set a time down here. So right now it's set for 2 minutes. So I will leave it at that. And then you can just press this button here, and this will start it. So you do have to authenticate it. Then your device will respring. And so if I do go to the home screen, as you can see, it limits it only to those apps, kind of like Lend My Phone, except this is just for you, and it does put a time limit on. So as you can see here, so this is pure focus, and so then in 2 minutes it will respring and go back to its normal state where you do have all of your apps. Okay guys, so as you can see, my device has resprung, and if I do head to the home screen, you will see that all of my apps are back, as well as all my different tweaks. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called Scribble. So as you can see here, it does say Touch ID or draw passcode. So if I do draw something random, it will not let me into my phone, but if I draw the passcode that I have done before, then it will let me into my phone. So mine was a J. And so this is just a fun way to get into your phone without using Touch ID or a passcode. So here's my J, and so now I am into my phone. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called SelectionPlus. So as you can see, if I do type in hello, and then I do select the text, you'll see that it puts it in this other menu instead of the normal boring Apple one. So you can copy and then paste just like your normal clipboard. But what's cool is that it also lets you select different styles within here, so you can unbold it and do italics and everything from in here as well. You can even strike through the text, and then there's also some other options that go with that as well, like you can look something up, and then you can also share just this text with somebody else. I don't know why you would, but you can do that if you wanted to just copy like an entire message in here and then send it to someone. And then if we do hop into settings, you will see that there are a bunch of different options that are in here, so you can add different colors to it for like the background and stuff. You can also change the button ordering, and you can also decide on the different haptics when changing menus or pressing on them. You can show images. You can change the font size and the text alignment, and then you can also import themes or save themes and share themes as well. And this is SelectionPlus. The next tweak is called ShortLook. So this just adds a cool way to see your notifications when a notification does come in and your phone is not on. So as you can see, if I do scroll down and I'll do a test notification. So as you can see, it says hello from ShortLook. If I were to somehow get a notification from Calculator, which just isn't possible, but anyway, that's besides the point. This will show you if someone had sent me a message, it would say like a message from Jake. And so this is just a cool way to see your notifications when your phone is not on and you're like pulling it out of your pocket. So this is ShortLook. Okay guys, so next up on our list is called Siliqua Pro. And so as you can see here, this lets you add custom actions for your AirPods Pro, and Siliqua 2 will let you add different custom actions for your regular AirPods. So as you can see here, if I do the single press, I can choose all of these different options. So pause, play, skip, rewind, skip 15 seconds, rewind 15 seconds, repeat, shuffle, increase, decrease volume, toggle Siri, and listening mode. So that'll cycle through the transparent mode, noise cancelling mode, and the off mode. So once again, this is called Siliqua Pro. And also you can get Siliqua 2, and this will work on your regular AirPods and AirPods 2. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called 6LS. So as you can see, it puts the iOS 6 lock screen back on any device that you do have. So I think that it does look pretty cool. And it does include the sounds and the charging logo as well. So if we slide to unlock, you can hear that, and then it will also do it when you turn your phone off. So I'll do this one more time. You guys can take a listen. You can also swipe up with the camera bar here as well, and this will bring up the camera, as you can see right there. So as you can see here, if we do plug in our device, ignore Maple, but it does show the Apple iOS 6 charging screen, which is pretty cool. So if you do remember this from iOS 6, this is the iOS 6 charging screen. And so this is 6LS. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called System Info. So as you can see, if I do scroll down here, you will see there's another tab that's called System Info, which is right after the Networks tab. And so as you can see here, it does tell you your MLB serial, your rear camera serial, and it does give you a bunch of different serial numbers and information that Apple doesn't normally give you. So this will tell you what kind of CPUs it has, the iBoot version, and a whole bunch of other settings. So once again, this is called System Info. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called Tritium, and so as you can see, this is an always on display and nightstand display. So if I do turn off my device, you will see it says that it's charging, and then it will put it into this charging face, almost like on the Apple Watch, and you can change the color of it as well. I put it on white, but you can change it to red, blue, and green. So if I do take it off the charging stand, you will see that if I do turn on and off my phone, then it puts it to this little screen instead, kind of like the lock screen, except it blacks out the background, which is a power saver for OLED, which is cool for an always on display, but also when you are charging at night and you do want to have that little night light on, you can use this kind of like an Apple Watch. If we're in the settings pane, you can see there are a ton of different options. So you can make it so it turns on low power mode, which will save your battery for the always on display. You can change the different colors. You can enable the nightstand mode if you want, or turn on and off the always on display. You can make it so there is the clock. You can turn that on and off, as well as the status bar, quick actions, and other third-party UI tweaks. Then we also, on the nightstand, you can change the color for that. So if you wanted to have green for that instead, and the 24-hour format, you can do that. You can also make it so it does the nightstand timeout, so it'll turn off after a couple of seconds, as well as the brightness. And then you can also change, if it does show the date, double tap to wake, and the brightness for it as well. So once again, this is called Tritium. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called Velox Reloaded. So if you guys do remember a tweak, it was called iOS Blocks. This basically does the same thing, just on iOS 13. And so as you can see, my weather, it tells me the temperature, it says that it's cloudy, and it tells me where I am. And so as you can see, if I do scroll over, and let's say I'll do it on the Maps app, I can 3D touch, and as you can see, it says Velox Open Maps widget, and you can customize the size. So this would be the full size one. And then let's say I wanted to do the music one at, say, a medium size. It'll put it into this medium size one. And then let's say I wanted to do a shortcuts one, but I wanted to do it at a small size one. If I did have any shortcuts, they would appear here. And so if you do want to go into those apps, you can just tap on it anywhere. And so this is Velox Reloaded. The last tweak that we will be checking out is called Zenith. So as you can see, if I do swipe down on, let's say, the podcast app, this will pop up, and so you can hide different apps under them. So if I wanted to hide Cydia, and then down here I wanted to hide the compass, so then if I do swipe away, it does go away. And so now those apps are missing from here. As you can see, Cydia is not here, as well as the compass app. And then if I just swipe down, I can select on the compass app, and then I can also select on Cydia. So once again, this is called Zenith. I do have some more tweaks videos coming up as well, so I do hope you guys enjoy them. Okay guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, social distance, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.